Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, it's Greg here again with an update of what's on my bench. I've done little bits and pieces, some of it you'll probably see before when I was progressing along, but I've actually finished something. It's the early Tiger, Tamiya really it's I think it's 1970s kit, so it's pretty basic but went together really well, and even the figures, they were made in 1968, so this shows you how all the kit is, and it went together brilliantly. It really did, with no fit issues at all, nothing at all. It was super. I know the details aren't up to, probably aren't correct or anything like that, but to me it's a good representation of a little tiger, so a large tiger. So I'm very happy with it. So we should just zoom in and have a look and see what I've been doing with it. I'll just bring it up, take it back out slightly. There we go. I'll bring it forward. As you can see, I've just done the it's the the dark yellow. I did a white and black coat obviously first. White sort of black, like a primer coat or shadow coat, and then just sprayed little bits of white on the highlight things, tied everything up. And while that was dry, I just give it a good light coating of the dark yellow. I left that to set a bit. It didn't take too long to dry. And then I used NATO green to do the camouflage. I found this sort of camouflage pattern is it's not far off being correct on the Tank Excite, can't even pronounce it, my bloody teeth this morning. The Tank, can't even say it now, ridiculous. It's on a Tank web page, I can't remember what it's bloody called. Encyclopedia, the Tank Encyclopedia. Bloody hell, I'm losing it. Yeah, so I found a few different sort of markings for it, and I came up with this one. So if I bring it up to the camera slightly, you can, the light will follow you. There we go. If I can get that to say you can see the camouflage, and all they've got is I did a little, just a bit of camouflage netting some of the dried leaves using the green weld cutter. I thought we just went different because on the picture in the Tank Encyclopedia, it had a netting, but it wasn't on the turret. It was more on the mantlet and around the some of the turret. So I thought, well, it looks a bit. I think I'll just do it on the turret. So I thought it came out quite well. I'm sure some tank somewhere along the line must have done it, but you can see it's quite a little badly detailed. It's not badly detailed at all. A little machine gun and everything is normal. I've done a few little bits of, as if it's being machine gunned and things like that on the side. There we go, and a few bits and pieces on that side. I forgot to bend the fenders. I was going to bend a couple of fenders, but I just totally forgot. And there's a bit of damage on the turret as well. Let's say, consider the decals were of like nearly 50 years old. It came off beautifully. I thought they would all break up, but they didn't. Yeah, so these are the original markings that I got off the Tiger out of the box as well, so there's nothing wrong with them. There's the thing I had to put over there because this was already pre-moulded onto the side of the tank, but I used the Asia Microset, a Microsol, and it did a great job. You almost believe that it's behind the actual moulding of the rope, tow rope. It came out really well. You can see, I'll just turn it around this way. And on the rear I had some photo etch, so I did a bit of photo etch on there. I used it up, I had to cut it slightly because of the mouldings on it, there and there and there. I had to just make small incisions into it to make it fit. And then I found a picture with a tank with a bit of rusty chain on there, and the obligatory bucket, German bucket, a little, there we go, a little cloth in there as well. I thought something different, so that just sits on the back. And a bit of damage on the mufflers on the back end, rusted up. Oh yeah, there we go. Just a bit of damage on them, slightly bent them and things like that. A few engine spills around by the chain and things like that. Not too overly weathered, it's all just enough. The air cleaners, there's a few bullet holes in a few of the air cleaners. There we go. I went too far away. There we go. A few bullet holes on there. I just bent the the exhaust manifold, exhaust covers, just slightly bent them, and I made a little bit of a wire rope just on the back of there. I thought just to there was something missing on there. I thought, well, I'll just put something there. And as far as the tracks and the wheels were concerned, the tracks, considering again, I just used the kit tracks, and they're fine. No problems at all with them. Nothing at all. The shackles on there, it's a bit of light weathering, not masses of it. I think I just used the light sienna on this one, and a bit of the old rust pigments again. I did an actual a filter, the dark yellow filter, which is quite nice. Just darkened it down slightly, and the graphite pencil again on certain parts of the, where the weld marks are, and a bit on the toe cables, just to sort of highlight them a little bit. Just an old piece of jeweler's wire again. I'm going to have to start looking into John's method, I think, with the guitar string. Looks nicer. So it came out really well. I say the wheels. Apparently the wheels aren't correct because it was originally a the remote control one. So they're not too far off. They're not too far off at all. So yeah, just lightly weathered. Not a great deal. And on the back of there again, I had to do the same as I did with the Panther, because it was like a plastic thing, and it just, as soon as you put the tracks on, it started to bend the idler wheel back. So I just put a piece of metal again, so I just put it right through the thing and placed them on there, so it didn't bend. That was the only part that really let it down, but apart from that, you can't complain. I say I've had this kit for quite a while. But for nearly 50-year-old kit, there's nothing wrong with it. 50 years old, you can't believe it, can you? It went together really well. And the figures are not too bad either. There we go. Let me just see if I can bring them into the light a little bit. There we go. See, the figures didn't come out too bad either, considering they're from the 1968. It's not as good as obviously today's figures, but they didn't come out too bad, not at all. So that's that finished, completely finished. I will do a Dio with this and a Panther, the Panther I did, but that's for next year. I have an idea what I want to do, but it's going to be quite time consuming. So, but I'll go with that. So that's that out of the way. I've been painting some more figures for my T55 with the snow plough. I got these ICM ones. I know they're not the 1940s Finnish rifleman, but a good friend of mine, Steve Mottram, is going to give me some modern weapons that they're going to use, so you won't really tell the difference at all. There we go. Let me zoom in. Go on, zoom in. Put my hand behind it. No, let's put it behind it. Let's have a look. Let's zoom in. Come on, come on. Let's have a bit of light on that. There we go. So that's just at the base flesh coat and just, the white. Nothing else on there yet. So they're not bad little figures, quite nicely detailed. So that's the first one. There's only 3 plus a reindeer, would you believe? They have a reindeer carrying a bit of luggage with them. So here we go again with. If that one was going to clear and show the face. Come on. There we go. So not bad little figures. Yeah, but just got the highlight coat and things like that. Nothing else at the moment. Flesh just be finished, and the hat needs to be painted, and needs to be weathered and things like that. But they're coming along nicely. Coming along nicely. I must have marked that down. And the last one, this is one on a ski. He skis, this one. Come on. There we go. He's a skier. So they're quite nicely detailed. Still quite a bit to do on them yet, but they'll work nicely on the Dio, I think. So I'll just put them back for now. So they're going to be finished, maybe hopefully get on with them today, and we've got a reindeer with them. Bloody reindeer, which carrying a bit of stowage, which is, obviously I've got to paint this and do it all up, but it's quite nice. So I've never seen that before, but there's its bottom, or bum. So the reindeer, that's going to be obviously sorted in the stowage to go on the back of it, so that's for that. Right, I'll bring in the diode, so I'll just zoom out a bit because we're too close. Go wrong way again. Let's just zoom back out. I'll show you how far I've got on with the T55 and the snowplow. Let's just bring the light over slightly. There we go. Let's just zoom out a bit more. I'll bring this in a bit more, whichever the case may be. There we go. As you can see, it's coming along quite nicely. I've still got to finish a bit more snow, and this ice, I don't know if you can quite see the ice there. It came on not too bad, but I've got a better idea for next time, but it's not too bad. It just wants a bit of a dry brush, a bit of a touch of white on the top just to highlight it. But I do have another good idea that I've seen on somebody else's website, a web page, sorry, I'm going to try doing that. These black bits have come off some of the trees I've been making recently. I'll just take them off while they're on there. Obviously there's a couple of little bits of tufts covered in the snow and logs and things like that, and obviously the trees that I've been making recently. So it's coming along. Snow, basically I've just done, this is twisted baby wipes, just to sort of get that fold, as if you know when it's ploughing, it's got to be finished yet, there's got to be more snow onto that yet, so just to disguise it a bit. And the same on the other side. This is the old paintbrush off the old paintbrushes. This needs to be pushed back in again, just spreading out a bit too much. But it should be alright. So the figures I've got to go on just to finish the figures off on there. It'll look quite nice. So this is just a floor tile that I had. It's quite heavy, but I need to use it up. So I'm going to make a little border to go right around the edge, just to tidy everything up. And obviously you've seen the T55 with the snowplow. Came out nice again. With the come into the baby wipe favours at the moment. These are just baby wipes, rolled up, painted, weathered again. And that's just the crepe bandages that we let's bring it right down. That's just the crepe bandages again. Sprayed painted green again, and just left it to dry and then rolled it up. It came out quite well again. The log on the back, I didn't quite see actually. Let me just see if I can maybe able to see a bit of icicles. I thought let's try with just with the clear seal again, just doing a couple of icicles on there. Can't really tilt it, I suppose I can, yeah, I can't tilt it. If you can see the icicles, there's a couple on the end of the barrel, and there's just some there on the above the tracks, and where we gone? Where we at? And there's some on the rear there on the log. I just thought, why not? It's going to be cold, so they might have a few things on like that. But yeah, it's come out quite well. So I've just got to finish the snow off and finish the disguising sort of the baby wipes. Well, it came out quite well. Yeah, quite well indeed. So the fit, I've just added a few extra little bits and pieces on the tank. There was a couple of things missing there. I didn't put the fuel drums on the back because this finished one didn't have them by the box art and by looking at the tank encyclopedia again. I have one figure. I've got another figure actually to go in there. Or there, I think one of the two. Okay, I didn't think you come with the kit. I can't remember. I may have one just to disguise, make it look like that, make it look finish. Say again, you've seen most of this T55, so it's come out rather well. I'll hopefully get that finished in the next couple of days. Yeah, should get that sort of all boxed off. So that's that out of the way. I think that's about all I've done at the moment. I don't think there's anything else. I'm going to start doing the Cromwell Mark V. for the Bridge Too Far group build with that, probably that and the Churchill probably. That'll be a build after the new year. I'm gonna start the Cromwell now, just because it looks a fairly simple kit. Hopefully I can get it together and I can just do little bits up until Christmas. As you know, with being Christmas, your time's not your own, you're always going somewhere doing something, so I thought I'd just start a simple kit to pass the time away with that till next year. So I've got quite a few things lined up for next year already. I've got a group build with Paul from World War II 28mm figures things. I think that's his. I'll put a link in at the bottom on the description thing. And Jack, I'll say that again. I'll leave you his YouTube link on there as well, so you can have a look at their both work. Brilliant work. Give them, subscribe and give them a good thumbs up. Encourage them. Yeah, it's all about. We're all here to share and encourage people and things like that. I mean, if for the fun, not for the. If it isn't fun, then don't bother with it. You know, some people get too ridiculous and as if it's I must do this, I must do that, or I must have this and I must have that. It's not enjoying it then, is it? It's just, I don't know. I'm in to enjoy it, and I am enjoying it. So that's enough of me rambling on. But I say I'll leave that two gentlemen's links on the bottom in the page down below later on. As I say, give him a good look, and there's some nice work on there. Paul's only just recently started his things, so he's only got a few videos up, but what he's got up is really nice work, brilliant work. In fact, and Jack, you probably know Jack, he does a lot of the figure work. He just started to build in the old, he's into the tanks now, and he's done, you say his first one, his Panther, all hand brushed, fantastic. And again, he's just done another one that's all hand brushed. He hasn't got an air gun, and he hasn't got anywhere really to do it. He does it in the kitchen, so you know, fair play to that. They come out really, really nice, considering it's all painted by a brush. Really nice brush, nice brush work. So I think that's it, ladies and gentlemen. So thank you very much for watching, and thank you all to my subscribers. And if I haven't got anything like further updates, I'll wish you all a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. And we'll see you soon. I probably will do a kit review of a little T60. So I'll probably up shortly. So this is Greg signing off, and thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you soon.